What to expect from Justin Bieber's facial paralysis condition? Justin Bieber recently disclosed that he is suffering from a rare condition known as Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, which is responsible for the paralysis of half of his face. It is from this virus that attacks the nerve in my ear and my facial nerves and has caused my face to have paralysis, the pop singer Justin Bieber said in a video that was posted in his Instagram account, gesturing at the side of his head. It is from this virus that attacks the nerve in my ear and my facial nerves, the singer said. As you can clearly see, this eye isn't blinking at all. This side of my face doesn't allow me to smile. This nostril is not going to budge. He explained that he is physically, obviously not capable of doing them, so he will be canceling the upcoming tour dates for his band. What does it mean to have Ramsay-Hunt syndrome? Varicella zoster virus, which also causes chickenpox in children and shingles in adults, is the causative agent of Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, a neurological condition. Ramsay-Hunt syndrome is caused by this virus. Even long after you have fully recovered from chickenpox, the virus can continue to live in your body for the rest of your life and cause irritations and inflammation of the nerves in your face if it is allowed to do so. According to Dr. Anna Walt, an infectious disease specialist at the University of Washington School of Medicine, the nerves that go through your face go through pretty narrow, bony canals, and when they are inflamed, they swell and lose the ability to function. Men and women are equally susceptible to contracting the disease, which can leave one side of the face partially paralyzed and result in blistering, excruciating rashes. It is more common in people who are older, and some patients experience changes in their hearing, such as perceiving sounds to be louder in one ear than another, developing tinnitus, or even going deaf in one ear. This condition is more common in older people. Pain in the ear or face is a symptom that frequently accompanies this syndrome, and some patients may also experience vertigo. The risk of developing Ramsay-Hunt syndrome each year is extremely low, falling somewhere between 5 and 10 per 100,000 people. Dr. Waleed Javed, the Director of Infection Prevention and Control at Mount Sinai, downtown in New York City, stated that anyone is at risk of contracting the infection. However, it's not something that people should be worried about, the speaker continued. Herpes zoster oticus is the correct medical term for the condition, but its more common name comes from the neurologist James Ramsay Hunt, who was the first person to describe the condition. According to the findings of the researchers, an accurate diagnosis may not be given to people who suffer from the syndrome for a very long time. The illness can have symptoms that are similar to Bell's palsy, which can also cause facial paralysis. The term Ramsay-Hunt is notoriously fake, and the illness can have those symptoms. According to Dr. Walt, the typical method that physicians use to diagnose Ramsay-Hunt syndrome is to look for small blisters that have developed in a patient's ear. Following the revelations that Mr. Bieber had been diagnosed with Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, a flurry of posts surfaced on social media with the hypothesis that he had contracted the conditions as a result of receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. These theories, according to the experts, are based on false information. According to Dr. Danielle Ayton, a clinical assistant professor of otolaryngology at NYU Langone Health, there is zero correlation that we have seen with any of the types of COVID vaccines with facial paralysis, whether it's Ramsay-Hunt or Bell's palsy. This statement was made in reference to both Ramsay-Hunt and Bell's palsy. Dr. Javed explained that the first mentions of Ramsay-Hunt was made more than a century ago, and that COVID has only just recently come into our lives. It's abundantly clear that it has nothing to do with COVID or the COVID vaccines in any way. What is the treatment of Ramsay-Hunt syndrome? According to Dr. Michael Ison, an infectious diseases professor at Northwestern Feinberg School of Medicine, most people with Ramsay-Hunt make a full recovery, but the disease's durations can vary. When it comes to others, the process can take weeks. For others, it may take weeks or even months, he explained. Facial paralysis or hearing loss, on the other hand, can be permanent in some cases. Antiviral medications is the most common form of treatment for Ramsay-Hunt. Dr. Walt said that in some cases, a steroid medications may be prescribed. She didn't normally recommend physical therapy for patients, but it wouldn't be harmful. In an Instagram post, Justin Bieber explained that he was using facial exercises to aid in his recovery. He said, "I've got to go get some rest, so I can get my face back to where it's supposed to be." At this point, this is the entirety of the information that we possess. If you enjoyed viewing the show, we would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to it by clicking the button labeled subscribe. Make sure the notification button is activated so that you are kept abreast of all of the newest videos that we upload.